If you're shopping for MRP software, you've probably figured out that it does a lot more than track your inventory. MRP plans your whole production, working out what to build, what to buy, and when to order it, so you hit your orders on time. But the tools that do it well tend to be big, expensive ERPs that take months to set up and cost over $100,000. Now, as a co-founder of a manufacturing software company, I've spent the last 4 years working with hundreds of manufacturers and distributors, small to large. So today, I'll break down the best options for MRP software for manufacturers and what each one of them does well. By the end, you know exactly which one fits your size without overpaying for something that's way more than you need. First up is Digit. It runs your whole manufacturing operation in one place. Instead of tracking inventory in one spreadsheet, purchase orders in another, and your production schedule on a whiteboard, all of it runs in the same system your whole team works from. Now, the whole point of an ERP is the actual production planning, and that's where Digit is strongest. You can build multi-level builds of materials, and that just means a recipe for your product with smaller sub-assemblies nested inside it, like a spice blend that goes into a finished product. It also keeps a version history of every bill of materials, so when your product changes, you always know which version actually built it. Additionally, you can set up routing, which is the step-by-step process of how a product gets made, and assign each step to a specific machine or operator. From there, it schedules your production on a calendar, so you can see what's getting built and when. Once that schedule is set, it works out exactly what raw materials you need to buy and make to hit it. So you're not finding out you're short on a part halfway through build. Then as the work actually runs, it tracks what each unit and each batch costs you to make, instead of just giving you a rough average. That way, you know exactly what you're earning on each product. And the whole time, it's logging every item by its lot, batch, and serial number from the raw material to the finished product. So if a customer asks or an auditor asks you where something came from, you can pull it up in seconds. The other big thing is that Digit connects directly to Claude and ChatGPT. So you can run a lot of your operation just by chatting with AI. You can create a manufacturing order, copy a bill of materials over to a new product, or pull a production report, all by just asking for it. You can even snap a photo of a paper purchase order and have it created in Digit for you automatically. If you want to see how Digit would handle your own operation, I'll leave a link at the top of the description where you can book a demo. Anyway, let's keep going. Next is Epicor Kinetic, and to give it credit, it's a serious, deep manufacturing ERP that can handle complex operations. It's been around for a long time, and big shops that have a full-time staff to manage it run their entire business on it. So if you're a large manufacturer with complex needs and a team to run the software, it's a capable system. But for most small and mid-sized shops, it might not be necessary for you. One control panel manufacturer I talked to outgrew QuickBooks and moved to Epicor, hoping for one system that did everything. Instead, they were over $100,000 in and called it a nightmare. And it took weeks of training just to do normal, everyday tasks. So they ended up looking for something simpler that just worked immediately out of the box. Then there's SAP Business One, one of the biggest names in enterprise software. It has a proven track record, and plenty of established mid-sized businesses run their whole company on it. The downside is that it was built for accounting mainly, so the manufacturing features end up being expensive and a little hard to use. One crop protection manufacturer I talked to said it was a bad fit for the way their shop runs. For example, SAP made them record goods as physically arrived before they could invoice, which wasn't aligned with the way they bring products in from overseas. Another food manufacturer told me that doing the warehouse and shop floor work in SAP would take a huge amount of custom programming and extra hardware. I will say though, SAP can definitely be a good choice for the right company. If you're a much bigger business with complex finances spread across multiple countries or business units, it's built to handle exactly that. All right, Next up is Microsoft Dynamics 365, also called Business Central. The big main reason this is a popular one is because it connects with the rest of your Microsoft tools. The downside is the cost and how well it actually fits a manufacturer. One plastics manufacturer I talked to got a quote of around $185,000 just to set it up, plus about $28,000 a year after that. And the way he summed it up was a jack of all trades, master of none. So it does a bit of everything, but it isn't focused enough for real manufacturing. It is a fine option though if you're already all in on Microsoft and have the budget, but it's a lot for a focused manufacturing shop. The last one is Global Shop Solutions, and this one was built specifically for manufacturing shops from the ground up. It's a powerful system with the kind of intricate manufacturing features a lot of other tools just don't have. But I will say a custom metal fabrication shop I talked to found it made simple everyday tasks way more complicated than they needed to be. It's built for much bigger operations, so everything is locked down and heavily structured. They said it took a ton of clicks just to do one simple thing. For example, opening a purchase order meant going through several different screens. And it also boxed everyone into their own part of the system. What I mean with that is that the person handling inventory couldn't quickly update a purchase order because it's a separate section they couldn't even get into. Their take was that it's a great software, just way too much for a smaller shop that wants to move fast. It also needs dedicated staff just to keep it running, which most small shops don't have. Now that we've gone through all of them, here's how I think about choosing. It really comes down to the size of your operation. If you're a large enterprise with a big team and a budget and need to run finance, HR, and your whole company in one massive system, then one of those bigger ERPs can make sense. That scale and complexity is exactly what they're built for. But if you're a small or mid-sized manufacturer, what you actually need is a lot simpler than that. You need to plan your production, track your materials and your lots, and know exactly what each product costs you to make. And you want to be able to do all that without a huge bill, months of setup, or having to hire someone just to run it. What you're really after is something simpler and more focused. A tool that's built to handle the manufacturing and inventory, that runs on every device, that you can be up and running on in a few weeks, and that has AI built in so you can get answers way faster. So if you're a small or mid-sized manufacturer and that simpler and more focused setup sounds like what your shop needs, that's exactly what Digit is built for. I'll leave a link at the top of the description here where you can book a demo and see how it would run on your own operation. We'll look at how your shop runs today, show you how Digit would handle your production and your traceability, and let you see how the AI works with your own data. So again, you can book your demo using that first link below this video. And if you want to learn more about how AI is changing manufacturing, then check out this video next.